Before this video starts, I'm gonna tell you that if my voice sounds different, it's because I'm sick. I'm really sick, but I don't want you to be without a video, so I'm gonna go and do this with a very sick voice. Someone asked me to do a video about sitting poses, or some things to think about when you have a character sitting. So the first thing you have to think about is, what is it that your character is sitting on? For instance, if it's a hard surface, your body will change depending on how you sit. Because the body will change when it's a hard surface. So the butt and your legs, everything, around here will change. But let's say it's a couch, which has, a little bit more fluff to it, soft pillows and stuff like that. Just say a soft surface or a soft place to sit. Then your body and the cushion will probably change to make it feel like you're kind of like sinking in, or the character is sinking in. So you can see already the pillow will probably lower itself and the body will lower itself instead of staying still like this. So that's the first thing you have to think about is it a hard surface? Is it a soft surface? What is it they are sitting on? Is it a ledge? Is it a couch? A chair? What kind of chair? Is it a leather chair? Is it a stone chair or a wood chair, or what is it? And then, of course, what is it that they're sitting on in the chair? It could be a very stale chair, or it could be like something that is bending your body, like a rocking chair. It probably bends a little bit more. So those are things to think about. The other thing is, you've probably seen this before a lot of times. I'm gonna go with a smaller brush here. And that's, if you have a character, and this is now in profile, a very quick just to get to it. But a character usually don't sit like this. This is probably the thing that you get, you see in kind of like manuals and stuff like that, that you're supposed to sit like this to get the most comfortable or something like that. But this is pretty much just this shape, and no character usually sits like that. Unless, of course, it's perhaps a very formal, person that, follows the rules and everything like that. No, the more likelihood is that the character is probably gonna be, like leaning or something like that, and perhaps having the legs kind of glide out or something. Just look at people how they sit usually, because if you have the chair, let's say it's this kind of chair, okay, just so we're all clear on what kind of chair it is we're talking about here. So let's do it like this as well. I'm just gonna go with the flow here. Let's see, boom boom, like that. So the character is probably gonna be more like this. Maybe he has his hands in his pocket or something like that. And maybe his other leg is like leaning like this. So you see, you have a more it's more personality when you have the character not follow the the chair's shape, because otherwise this is so stale that it doesn't feel like it's real. It's too like strict and everything like that. But once again, it's up to you and up to the character if it feels right or not. But I like to change it up. I don't like to have it all too stale. And if you're going with the front, usually when I do this, and I do think about my like old webcomic days, when I usually did my characters like this. So they were sitting in the couch, most likely playing, you know, video games and such like that. So they had the controller, and I'm not gonna do much details here. I'm just gonna show you kind of what it looked like. And then I just did this. I made two, kind of like, let's see, I'm gonna move this a little bit more to this side over here. So you can see I just did two columns, which is, this is the knee, and then this leg goes in like this, and you have the feet or something like this, and then you have the couch. When you do a gaming webcomic, you have to have a couch. So something like this, and let's just go with like this. So you can see here I am doing the thing that I talked about earlier, the thing about pushing the character down a little bit, because as you can see, if you go and have it like an X-ray vision of this, you will probably see that here the butt is going down. So you can see already that I'm already lowering the character a little bit. And then you can have the leg comes up over the edge and then down like this. So that's one way of doing it. Also, if you have a character, perhaps, let's have a character sit on a throne. We can do a frontal view of that. So let's do a kind of throne here. Maybe that's too high. Let's go with this. No, I want to move it. There we go. There we go. That will work. And let's just put like this. Okay. So for me, I usually do the character first, because it helps, you know, to make the proportions right, so you know how the couch or the throne or whatever it is. Let's see, I'm gonna go with, let's just make a character like sitting on the throne, toasting perhaps a warrior or something. So I'm just gonna go like this, and let's make it a more female version, perhaps. Maybe it's a queen sitting on a throne. Okay. So for instance, here you could do perhaps a crossed legs kind of thing, where you have like this, and then you do the legs. Like I said, I usually do these the character first, because now I can already see that it's a little bit off with the body and everything. So I'm just gonna go up here and try to fix it. Here we go, a little bit more like that. So something like this, and I'm gonna erase some lines here so you can see it a little bit more clearly what I am trying to achieve here. It's a very complicated pose, this. Like I said, try to do the character first sometimes, because it's easier to do that. For me, I usually try to do the character first, and then I place the couch, the throne, or whatever it is later on, because then I can control the proportions to the character, so it makes it easier, instead of, you know, going this way where you do the throne first and then try to put the character on it, because sometimes it works for some people. For me, I usually try to do the character first, so I get the right feeling for it. But when it comes to, you know, sitting poses and stuff like that, the best thing you can do is actually just, you know, if you wanted to sit in a special way, okay, take the camera and take a picture let's see, like this. So take a picture of yourself sitting in the way that you want your character to sit, and then you will see how it sits. But I usually think about it like this: do the character first. What kind of surface is it? And you know, the personality of how the character sits. For instance, like this is a gamer. Now this is a throne, like a queen or something. Maybe she's an arrogant queen because she's sitting cross-legged and, you know, leaning with the hand and everything. You can have people perhaps, you know, sitting down like this, hunchbacked over, kind of like, a little bit defeated, maybe perhaps had a really rough day or something. So they're leaning, and then they're probably gonna have their knees like up here, like this, and it's all like, oh, come on. Yeah, as you can see, I usually try to do the character first, like I said, and just to get the feel of what kind of situation is it. Is it a you know, positive one or a negative one, or what do we want to feel with the character sitting down? So there are a lot of, you know, poses you can do. There are a lot of ways to, you know, sit your character down, but you have to realize that you can't really all too much show or learn someone how to, you know, this is the way people sit, because everyone does it, you know, kind of differently. And I think that's awesome, because sometimes I'm like, whoa, okay, I never thought of a person sitting that way, but it kind of feels right and normal. And I think that's the key to it, you know, just try to find your what you feel is working for the character to sit in. If it works for you, then it's fine. Because sometimes I've done characters when I'm like, nah, that's not quite right. That's not the way that this character would sit. Then just change it. Or maybe, do they have to sit? But for sitting, then I would recommend this. Think about is it a hard surface? Is it a soft surface? If you want, you know, a very complicated pose that you don't know how to do, I totally recommend either searching on Google for, you know, finding that pose, or take your camera and take that pose yourself and make it look like the way you want it. And then, of course, try to sketch it down into simple forms. Like I usually try to do with my characters always, is this. You know, try to, let's go with this. I'm gonna go with a new layer just so we can do it. Circle, you know, leg, circle, like this. And then you have the legs going in, like such. You can see it even here. Legs, like this. And then in this, there's a slight view to it, and then we have the body going up like this. Same thing here. Circle, circle, leg, leg. And then we're going over like this. Because I think the arms is not the most important thing in these. It's the legs. It's the legs that are gonna sell your sitting pose. The arms can be doing whatever. Sometimes you have to have the arms or the hands on the knees or the, you know, upper legs, and then you have to kind of sell the arms as well. But for the most part, it's the legs that sells the, you know, the sitting part. Because if they don't feel right, then probably the rest of the image is not gonna feel right. So get the legs correct when it comes to sitting poses. Because as you can see, this is what's sitting, this part. So try to get the legs correct, okay? I hope you have learned something today, and I will see you in the next tutorial video. Bye!